It's the Financial Style on New Star Radio 98.7 FM, making money make sense.
So, Merisha is starting the West Midlands Chapter for the Women's Speaker Association, a global organisation which brings together 8,000 women speakers and premier members, plus thousands more free associate members together from 120 countries from across 6 continents. Starting this month with 2 exclusive online events, the Midlands Chapter of the Women's Speaker Association is specifically for the women of the West Midlands. As the very first member of the local chapter, Sasheen Morgan has joined us in the studio this morning. Good morning, Sasheen.
Morning.
So let's have a little bit of controversy to start the morning off. Now, Merisha, I understand that you are not a fan of women's organisations working in isolation. In fact, you're very keen for them to work together. So why would you set up another one?
Well, thank you for asking. No, do you know what? I think it was important to address that point, because you're quite right. I am not a huge fan of lots of different women's organisations. I think it reduces our power. But to make it clear, this is not actually about setting up another one. This is not about reinventing the wheel by any stretch. This is actually just about bringing an organisation that already exists to the Midlands. And my why behind this is because there are lots of different organisations that deal with different things, and for that reason I do think they have their place. You know, there are organisations that are focused on women in business, there are those that are focused on mompreneurs, all sorts of different things. So I think that they all do have their place. I would like to just see them coming together a little bit more. But what I love about this is about giving women a voice on an international stage and connecting them with a community of women that already exist. As you said, there's 8,000 women currently in the network, and those are the paid members, not to mention the hundreds of thousands more who are actually free members.
So what are the key points that differs this from existing networks, organisations?
Well, this is not about networking in the standard sense. So this is not about just turning up, networking, you know, drinking a bit of drink, having some nibbles and putting on a few pounds, then going home thinking, why have I wasted my life? You know, meeting the same people over and over again. It's not really about that. What I like about this network is that it's not focused on just sort of meeting the same people. It's actually about connecting you with lots of different people. And so the Women's Speakers Association plugs in to a multitude of different networks around the world, which is focused on putting women on a stage and on a platform for their messages to be heard.
So explain to our female listeners, why should women be getting involved with this?
I think every woman has a voice. The reality is where we put that voice is our choice. Now, for the last 10 years, for me, my voice has been here at New Star Radio, more so than it's been anywhere else. I know women who speak on the stage. I know women who speak in the boardroom. I know women who speak in training rooms, who these days are standing up and telling people to create opportunities for themselves. Women have a voice, but I'm not sure that all of us really understand or have clarity in what our message should be. And what this is about is cultivating a message that people want to hear.
Now, Sasheen, you're already a member. In fact, I believe the first. Why have you been attracted then to this organisation?
I was attracted to this organisation because it helps to give people a voice, as Merisha said, but it's also tapping into the industry where there are up-and-coming entrepreneurs like myself. There's young people out there, young women out there, who have a voice, who have not been given the opportunity to be heard. So this organisation really attracted me in that sense as well.
And what do you feel are the main hurdles that women have to come across, and why this organisation then helps them?
In terms of the bigger society, we're kind of sometimes seen as like a second-class citizen, so our voices aren't heard on the same platform as other people. In terms of being able to be heard, according to young people, we are the next generation, so we are going to be creating the platform for the rest of the society. So being able to be the lead member, if you like, as the first member, as a young entrepreneur as well, I think that's just going to give others a boost to show that there is an opportunity out there to be able to have your voice heard.
And I guess more focused around yourself, what do you hope to gain then?
For myself, it's self-development in terms of my personal confidence and getting out there and speaking to other people. But on a bigger scale, as I said, it's being able to help others and show them that what you've been brought up and what you've been shown is it's not just the norm. It's not just that. There's other things out there for you. There are other ways for your voice to be heard. You don't have to, for example, go out and get involved in the protest for your voice to be heard. You can be heard in other ways.
Yeah, and I think moving then again back to you, Merisha, in terms of WSA, let's shorten it, what benefits are offered?
Well, if I speak on a personal level, what I will say is I already know there's a number of women in the region that are associate members, and the associate membership is the free membership to the organisation. And what that does is that involves you within the community, so you can become part of the Facebook page. It allows you to actually get involved with some of the events that are taking place online. And again, the other thing I like about this that's very there's offline events, but there's also online events. So for the ladies out there that may struggle to get to these events of an evening or of an afternoon, don't actually have to leave their homes. They can do stuff indoors and actually connect with women indoors. But reflecting personally, when I became a Premier member, I literally went from engaging with a couple of these blabs once in a while sort of thing, and getting involved with, say, speaker chat, which is like, you get speakers that come on that talk about different aspects of speaking, so how to monetize your speaking, or how to improve your message, or how to cut the small talk on your networking, or whatever the case may be. So they come at it from lots of different angles, and it can be quite educational. But literally within a week of me becoming a Premier member, I had an international profile for speaking put on a website called espeakers.com. That translated into me by, I think, within 24 hours of me putting my eSpeakers profile up, I was then profiled on 14 other websites for speaking. So at the moment I am now officially an international speaker on that stage. In addition to that, I've been able to connect with women in New York, in New Jersey. I met a woman last week in Sacramento where we're talking about doing business together. There were women that are coming from Australia, different parts of Europe, down in London. One lady who I actually saw on a blab, then met her in person. She's agreed to come up to Birmingham to share the information she's got with the ladies here. So literally within sort of a week, this turned from me sort of being, Merisha who's on New Style every week, to actually Merisha who's on an international stage, and where I've got some business dealings at the moment happening in Miami. That's also been really useful, because those ladies have been able to connect and understand where I'm coming from, and that's bridged the gap as well with my Miami connections and business connections there.
Well, then, on the topic then of connections, how can our female listeners of New Star Radio connect with the organisation and join the events?
Right, well, we've got two events, as I say, happening at the end of the month. It's on the 26th and the 28th. They are online events. Now, the first thing that you need to do is actually just engage with the associate membership. That is the way that we can actually get the links to you. So if you go to my professional Facebook page, Merisha Stevenson, it's actually pinned right to the top of that page, where there's a link there, and you can go on and get your free associate membership. Likewise, if you go to our Financial Style Twitter page, it's also pinned there to the top of the page, so the links are there for you to get your free associate membership. Now, don't get me wrong, I would encourage women moving forward to become Premier members, but for now, do the free associate membership. It's completely free, you've got nothing to lose, and then that means you can engage with one of our two events. Now, on the 26th, it's happening at 8 o'clock, and it's an online event, or Thursday the 28th, it's happening at 6 o'clock. So whichever is your preference, or is going to be a little bit easier if you've got kids to put to bed, or dinner to do, or work to get in from, then you can do either of those, and they will be recorded, so again, if you do miss them, we'll be able to send you links to the recordings.
Great. Thank you for joining us there, Sasheen. Bit of a coughing fit there, but you're alright, you're doing well. So thank you for coming and talking to us about this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And make sure you visit our Twitter page, and also on the Facebook, and join Merisha on her professional page for information regarding the free membership.